Hello my dear friends, today I would like to discuss Bitcoin and some interesting altcoins that I have on my radar. So let's take a look at the bigger picture. What do we have here? We have the continuing struggle of Bitcoin for this all-time high zone, and it serves as support for now for us, but before in 2021 it served precisely as resistance and marked our global reversal of the market. Now we are struggling for it as support, and as you can see, since we broke above it, the Bitcoin tried to retest it twice. On the weekly time frame we can see 2 weeks here, and they held precisely, this support held precisely, but now we can see that we pierced a little bit this zone, and that already creates the reasons for concern. But let's not go that far and take a look at other things that are important for the bigger picture to understand what is going to happen next, what can happen next. So let's take a look at our key global trend line. I call it the 2020 trend line. Why? Because it was built on the 2020 extremums. As you can see, the one during the sell-off during the 2020 pandemic news, as you can see this week, and the next one is here. It was around the spot when the whole market took off, and that is why this trend line is so strong, and it served as our support before and helped the market to take off. Then it served as resistance once we lost it precisely. Then, as you can see, and I discussed it before in I guess in January, when there was this whole Bitcoin ETF euphoria, everybody discussed it, and I told you many times to watch out for this trend line. It is the key trend line that will define whether the market is going to continue going up, the upside trend, or we will reverse. And as you can see, the first time was the rejection here, and we rejected significantly. Then we retested the lows back, grabbed all the liquidity, found some force, and we broke this line. And since we broke it, we retested it. We also discussed it on my Twitter account, and then we took off higher. That is why it is confirmed that this global trend line is so important and so strong, and as long as we hold it, even if we lose this green line, this all-time high zone supporting, even if we lose it abruptly, it is not going to mean that we are in the downtrend already. And also, before I was talking about the inefficiency that we left here around $53, $54, $55,000, and I think there is a very, very high possibility that we will come for that inefficiency and cover it. And let's take a look at the lower time frames and find out why there is such an opportunity. As you can see, these 3 lines, it is an untraded zone. If I turn on my indicator, it will be marked with the yellow color. As you can see, ATR we have here, we broke here ATR, it is lost already. It means that ATR from now, daily ATR, is going to serve as our resistance here. And as you can see, we have this yellow bars, and they show us that it was a move on high volume, but without trading through the zones. And these untraded zones, they are like gaps, but only stronger. They always get covered sooner or later, and it worked every time for me during these years of my trading experience since 2018. Okay, let's take a look at other indicators and at the situation as a whole. And if you follow me on my Twitter account, when we were chopping here during all this time, I was talking about that if we are under this 2021 all-time high, this is a zone for concern, and we need to be vigilant and cut all our leverage and try to be safe. Not shorting, of course, but not longing either, until we have some clarification. And once the price dropped here, right, and at Kijun, and it held Kijun as support for many days, but as long as we are under 50 moving average, daily 50 moving average, we are not supposed to long, in my opinion. And it was a very very dangerous situation, and we needed to be vigilant, because only if we push through it and secure 50 moving average as support, then we could take off and continue our upside journey, and the situation would be very bullish. But as you can see, we lost it, and we held this what I call the Kijun corner. Kijun is very important, especially the high time frame Kijun situations. They are very important, and when we approach these kind of Kijun corners, we either hold them as support and find some strength to push higher, or if we lose it and close below it, then it is a done situation for some time. And as you can see, I chose the patience and looking for confirmation, and I got this confirmation. As you can see, today we broke down below this Kijun, and it has become our resistance right now. And what can we expect from it when we know that it is under Kijun already? So there are I can see two scenarios here based on whether we are going to hold this line right today or not, this green zone again. So basically we can do two possible scenarios here. We can, if we hold this line, we can stand here and hold it, try to go higher, and then get back, and then continue going upper and retest our Kijun resistance here and 50 moving average as resistance. And then after that we will go lower and cover all these lines up to $54,000. Then we have our global trend line that we discussed earlier at the beginning of the video. That is why we were discussing it, to figure out what is going to be a significant support for us if the market goes lower, and we have reasons to consider that. And then we will go to reverse here, and if we break Kijun, we are back up. If not, then the situation can get uglier, but I think we will go higher. And also we can have 200 moving average approaching here, and it is going to be the second support alongside with our global trend line here. And I think we are not breaking 68,000 again until we cover this inefficiencies. And maybe if we break it, then definitely this is an invalidation and it is going higher. I was wrong, but for now I see what I see, and I use my indicators as they work for me all the time, usually 90% of the time. And this is the first scenario. But if we don't hold this line today, we go like this, retest it and go back lower, then there is possibility that we go like this, then try to retest it and get lower until we retest it. And all these, here is the situation, and here are the situations that have to become the time and the opportunity for the altcoins when they start recovering significantly. And I think, as you can see, last week we had this sell-off, this capitulation event on altcoins when Bitcoin only lost like 8%. And I was telling you that this is because it was a significant level here, and the decisive level, and it threatened our whole market structure, and that is why alts were dumping so heavily. But right now, when it is confirmed that Bitcoin is going lower, I think Bitcoin is going to slow down, and the altcoins will, and the domination of Bitcoin is going to decrease slightly, and the altcoins will take the matters in their hands. And each time, if Bitcoin is not going to dump like a capitulation event in a spilling candles, strong spilling candles, then the altcoins will be able to breathe, and they only are going to retest their recent lows that they marked, or the weakest altcoins are going to go lower and retest their all-time lows from the 2023. This is what is going to happen. But I think this time is going to be either any of these two scenarios that I marked here. I think Bitcoin is going to move a little bit slower, and altcoins will get their time to recover, in my opinion. And all this chop in this zone that we have here, in this zone, it is a good opportunity for Bitcoin to slow down and start chopping, and the other opportunity for the altcoins to recover and become stronger, in my opinion. These are the best moments actually on the market, if you know what I am talking about. So this is my vision for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at some altcoins. First of all, Aptos. So whoever was following me on Twitter, what have we done? In March, I was telling you all that the March is the month of Aptos, and I turned out to be right. We were buying here. I even have this mark on my chart. We were buying here. I was longing from 1163, and I had a target for for March on Aptos that it will reach either $18 or $19. And as you can see, we executed this trade perfectly and took profit here. And right after that, I decided not to wait for $20. As you can see, we have this level of resistance, but usually we do not reach this kind of levels, and we need to start taking profits, at least 70% of your profits, to take, not reaching the level that everybody can see. Of course, everybody would, at that moment, everybody would expect a take profit level at $20, and this is why nobody got it. That is why I started to taking profits partially, most of it on 18 cents, 70% at 18 cents, and the rest of the 30% at 19 cents, and it turned out to be a top. I didn't even expect it this time, but and look at what we have done. It was a successful trade, and we exited right on time. What to expect right now, guys? So basically, we have reached, during this flush, we have reached this Aptos's 50 moving average that is being formed here, and this is the intersection of, let's remove it, and as you can see, this is the intersection of our lines. We have this global trend line here, and we have Kijun that started to form on higher time frame. Not much history here, but we have what we have, and it should work. As you can see, we left this week. Probably it is going to be covered sooner or later, whether we are going to do like this, retest this line at $8 and get back higher, and then get back lower to $7, and then start trading like that, recovering. But or we are going to go like this first and then get back lower. So in my opinion, Aptos is a good coin. They have a lot of cooperation with AI, Microsoft, and Google Cloud, and other traditional giants. That's definitely, it makes it a coin with a huge potential. I thought that this bull run it is going to reach at least $35-$45. I'm not sure about whether we reach it or not, but the fundamentals are strong here, and the network is good. It has a strong community, and it is cheap, it is fast. Why not use it, and why not invest in it? I think it is better even than Atom. A lot of people invested in Atom and it showed nothing. And definitely I can understand why, because Aptos, the APT token, has the real use. It is the coin that everybody can buy and pay commissions in it. It is being used usually daily. Atom, you only can stake to receive some illusionary airdrops or not, and the unstaking period is huge, and definitely you do not pay. Atom is not used in any other transactions. I don't know, so that is why I think Aptos is very popular, and I think if it comes to $7, it is a good opportunity to buy if you haven't bought before at $5, $6, $3, $4, $3 somewhere there. If you didn't buy it there, I think $7 is a good price. And so you will ask me, what should we do if we buy at $7 and it goes, but where is the overall bottom? It is either this Kijun support around $7, or it is the intersection here that we have here, the intersection of this blue line, counter trend line, and our global trend line at $6, somewhere there. So basically, if we come and touch this global trend line, we touched it here, we formed it here and took off from it. Definitely it is a working global trend line. So basically, if we reach it, then definitely it is a buy signal. And for example, what should we do if, for example, you bought at $7 and it goes lower to 6 or 5 or something like that, some week or whatever? Basically, you can use your Aptos that you bought and open a small 2x long on Binance in the section CoinM section, or other exchanges. You can use it is called the inverse contract, and you can long with the smallest leverage and increase your APT quantity, the number of your coins. So basically it is a good strategy and a win-win strategy in my opinion. Probably a good idea for you to try. Let's take a look at Injective. A lot of people were discussing what to do with it. It was working precisely for me. I shared this on my Twitter account when the dump was going on. I told everybody that we have this global trend line, and it worked perfectly as support before when it ignited here. Support, resistance, and now first resistance, then we broke it, retested as support. Right now we retested it, and it is at the same time at the same place with the 50 moving average, weekly 50 moving average as support. So basically, if we do not do something like this, and Bitcoin has the reasons to go lower, I think during this time we can retest this global trend line around $20, 22 maybe, and this is going to be our bottom, and we will start reversing somewhere from here. If we close, basically we close under it, then there are some reasons to wait for it to go and stop at the orange line. And frankly, there can be such an opportunity. I see some inefficiency here, but I don't think we are going to do that right now. I think this line is going to hold right now, and we are going higher, and this one we will cover next time when the bear market, the real bear market, like in 2021, is going to start. So I think it was clear where to buy or long injective if you are interested in it here upon the retest and wait for it. Then let's take a look at the next one that I wanted to discuss. What I was buying during this flush was RDNT Capital. I'm very enthusiastic about it, but it is hard to find a great spot for the purchase here because the overall macro situation doesn't look very convincing in my opinion. We have the lowering tops, and now basically we have lowering lows here because we went a little bit lower here, but it may not mean anything because we have the same history with Algo and Algorand, and it went higher after it made the new low. So definitely, but I am very cautious about it, but I believe in this asset. I think if layer 0 is getting will be released, a RDNT Capital platform can become one of the top liquidity platforms that will absorb layer 0's TVL once RDNT that is built on top of the layer 0 engine. Once they list and add some layer 0 tokens pools to their platform, it is going to be one of their main platforms, and definitely it is going to hype, in my opinion. Right now RDNT has Arbitrum, they have BNB network, and they have Ethereum, and also RDNT Capital was backed and financed by Binance, so definitely Binance is not going to let it die. Of course, we have this situation, in my opinion, and we marked that bottom that we held before. I bought RDNT because I enabled super trend here and it marked the bottom. This was the place to buy. As long as it holds unbroken this line, definitely it is worth buying. So I bought at 1880. I was sharing this on my Twitter account. You can join it in my description. You can find it, or in the description to this video. So I bought it here, but I don't know how this week is going to end. Basically, if this week is not going lower, then definitely it is going to be the reversal. We basically can retest it and start the new weekly candle and reverse like this. Then it will mean that we are probably found the bottom, and there is a great chance that we will go higher, but only if we hold it right here this week, then start the new one, retest maybe, and go higher. Then we have this resistance here, Kijun and 50 moving average. Probably we will get rejected for some time. If we do something like this, then we will go higher. If we don't hold it, then definitely lower. But if we go straight away, which I don't believe that we will go straight away from here, I believe more in this kind of situation, that we get rejected here, retrace a little bit, we can even sell here. Maybe I will try, we'll see on the situation and on the market situation, and then we will go higher. But this week is very crucial for the understanding whether we found this bottom or not, and whether we go lower or not. So I'm holding right now with the average price around 1880, and I'm looking on the on-chain data, the chart, because it has more history. And we had this, I was very reluctant to invest before in it, because we had this week. We had these weeks that we covered before, but the centralized exchanges also had these weeks. That is why we always covered them. But I don't have experience whether these decentralized exchanges weeks are always get covered. I know only about the sexes weeks, but these ones probably they may be left uncovered, but we don't know it yet. And I think this situation will show us. And we have this historical trend line here on on-chain trading data. Here it is a working trend line. Here we're not reaching it, we reversed here, but now we have the opportunity to cover it. In order to consider a weak and inefficiency red week to be covered, we need at least to cover at least 50% of it. So basically we have technically we can reach back to 13, 14, 15 cents here, but I think it is going to happen sooner here. 17, 18, maybe it won't even reflect on the centralized exchanges data, because sometimes they differ. This on-chain trading prices can squeeze that, and it is not even reflected on the centralized exchanges price feed. So basically I'm waiting for us to cover and touch this global trend line. Once we touch it, most likely we are reversing. So I'm watching closely Radiant and holding from 18, 19 cents. But if it doesn't hold and we go lower to 14, 15 cents, I will buy more. I am very convinced in this asset. The tokenomics are good, and these tokenomics can allow us to send this asset when the time comes, and if we have patience, it will allow us to send it to $1.80, $1.80, $2, maybe higher, up to $2.50, $3 easily. But we need to wait. This is a long-term investment for me, and I guess I explained you why. So let's take a look at other coins that we have here and that we need to discuss. Oh, okay, let's get back to Ripple. We'll tell you a few words about XRP. Maybe you are not interested in it, but I had a plan in 2022 which I shared with my followers here. I even recorded the video, and you can find it here. And from 2022, as you can see, XRP reached this this, you can call it a global trend line here, and as support 41 cents. And I told you before that 30 cents, 40 cents, it is the price when you can buy XRP actually. So basically I think if we cover it, then definitely, if we hold it, then we can recover. But I have another chart here with the more information. This one on XRP chart on Bitstamp has more historical information, and I shared this plan, this strategic plan for the future on XRP, and it follows it quite well. I was recording it in 2022 when we were here. I was technically expecting for us to touch this global trend line, which starts here, ignition, retest. It proves that this is a working solid global trend line support. And the last time I shared this my plan on Ripple, we retested this range support and it held. Okay, it held successfully. Didn't reach my global trend line. If it would reach it, I would buy actually. But right now, we don't know whether it will reach it. I think the possibilities are high actually, because here is the place where our global trend line is at the same spot where is our global range line. So basically, if you see XRP around 32, 33, 35, 36 cents, definitely it is worth buying, because my long-term scenario here is this, that once we break this counter trend line resistance, and it followed actually according to the plan that I showed you in 2022. First it went higher, rejected here again close to the global counter trend line, and went down, chopping to our major support actually. So if we reach this line here and break this counter trend line, then we start retesting and doing something like this. And I'm expecting XRP, when nobody expects it, to reach minimum $2, $2.20, and maximum $2.60, $2.80 in the next 2 to 3 years. Actually, I think nobody expects this, but this makes sense from the TA perspective and some fundamentals, that XRP is not some kind of empty company. It is the initial company from the traditional finance people, from the suits, smart money, that had billions of dollars, had many deals with the with worldwide banks in Japan, Santander in Spain, and others, and they are doing their work. I think XRP will rise up to $2 and maybe a little bit higher, up to this green trend line as resistance. Very high probability, but I would only buy if we reach this support around 34, 33, 35, 36 cents. It would make sense to buy for me then. Let's take a look at XRP, and I shared this in March, a month ago, that we will go for the retest of this green trend line. This is Tron, TRX, and there are two spots here where we have the opportunity to reverse and go back up. It is either here and we reached it, or it is upon this intersection of blue trend line, and this important range support, red line above 9 cents. So basically I'm expecting something like this to follow. This is about TRX, and usually it is very insightful actually. Okay, let's take a look at MATIC. I don't like this coin and its tokenomics, but it is quite insightful for me, because as you can see, we left this inefficiency weak. It was kind of small, but only on the weekly time frame closer looks bigger, and we all expected it to be covered during the 2022, during the bear market, but it didn't. It was holding nicely and going higher, but as you can see, we are in the bull market. Some assets went crazy in a parabolic formation, and MATIC is still there, and it quite technically it looks very nice. It trades like in the books. All the levels are respected. As you can see, this range resistance here worked many times as a resistance. Again here, deviation here that tricked everybody. And as you can see, there is if you want to know, actually you can take MATIC on your radar, on your watch list. Why? Even if you are not interested in it, because it can be very insightful in the terms of where to buy. For example, if you see MATIC spilling into this zone of 30 plus cents, it will mean buy everything you want. The bottom is in. It is not going to go lower, but there is no guarantee that it will go that low, but there is a high probability that it will retest this level of 15 cents, and this is where you can start buying. Definitely it either goes like this or it goes like this, in my opinion. Let's turn on some indicators, and as you can see what have happened here, we lost this intersection of 50 and 200 moving averages, and now as long as we didn't reclaim above it, retested it, we are not bullish here. And let's take a look at Kijun. Yeah, you can see that we lost it too. Unless we reclaim it and start going something like that, it is not bullish. As long as we under it, we're going lower, and this may be your major indicator. So basically, you know now that either this one This zone of 50 cents or 30 plus cents is a good time to start buying everything, and the bottom is in. Okay, let's discuss some other assets, interesting assets that deserve our attention. Well, ACE. This is the Fusionist game, the new game that is backed by Binance. And what happened here, when it was released, I guess in January, I was sharing my thoughts on Twitter, and I said that I expect ACE to go to $4 eventually. It was somewhere here. Then when we were reversing here, I thought that probably we will go lower somewhere from here, but we didn't. The market went straight higher, went euphoric, and I thought that this opportunity has left behind, and we are not going back there. But as you can see, $4 week, the inefficiency week has been left here, and we reached my favorite Fibonacci retracement level. Definitely it is the zone that if you are interested in this asset, you may start buying it, as you can see, basically, but only upon retest, in my opinion. Basically, we either do something like that, retrace a bit, maybe a little bit lower, and then something like that. Or if we go like this, then retracement here upon the great resistance zone. It will be our resistance zone, and back to this one. This is when you can start buying 70%. And look what is going to happen next. If it loses this line, definitely go to rebuy, add lower, and we will be back. If we see something like this, deviation, retest, and go higher, then you rebuy at the remaining allocation 30% here, and we are going higher. But this is a good spot to buy, in my opinion, for the long term and as a long-term investment. I guess that's it about ACE. Okay, Celestia. Okay, this is an interesting one. I was talking about how we lost this range, and it's, as long as we secure it as support, it is our resistance, and we didn't secure it, as you can see. And of course the price went lower. A lot of influencers were buying here, $13-14, maybe even $12 when they saw that we held this support. But in my opinion, it was too early and nothing was clear, and the overall formation didn't look like a bullish one, and had all the risks. And the main risk for me here was this inefficiency, this huge red wick, and we always get covered these weeks. That is why I put my buying order where? Right here at 9.50. I was expecting the price eventually to come here and get my order and maybe even go higher and recover this inefficiency week. And as you can see, I was right. We recovered it, but only I didn't expect that at that time that we will go lower than this range support, and we will go to the real support. We have confirmation here that we broke here. Of course, there is no strong confirmation on this asset because it was flying. It has little history. All the order blocks and open interest zones are not very clear. So definitely we went lower. My order got executed here at 9.50, and I was waiting for the recovery. Then I sold it when it got to my price, so I didn't incur any losses. Then it was reversing here, and I said if we reverse here, hold it, then definitely it is our bottom, all-time bottom before the next leg. And after we drew this daily candle, green candle, definitely I understood that definitely it is the bottom, and I started to wait for this 950 to buy, or 941, and I placed my buy order here, but I placed it on Kraken at that time. Unluckily, at that time, that night, Kraken exchange went down, and my order was not executed. I was expecting to make a quick 20% gain here and sell it around 153. As you can see, it happened, but my order was not executed because of the Kraken problems. And right now we have retested. We couldn't go through this great area of resistance. As you can see, it works perfectly. It held as support, now it works as resistance, and as long as we are below it, no further go, in my opinion. So as you can see, today we got rejected here significantly. What we can expect here, I was expecting either like something like this, or we go lower for the retest of this global trend line, and I think eventually we can go and retest this yellow zone. And if you lost or missed Celestia during this sell-off, definitely come back at it and place some bids around $7, around $7.50, $8, and I think you will be fine. And eventually, even if we don't go straight away right there, I expect something like this, and then eventually we will come there, in my opinion. So definitely this yellow zone, you can draw it in on your charts and have it, because I think it is our bottom here. From here, if we reach it again, definitely is a good spot to open along. Then let's discuss ONDO. This is my best performing asset of 2024. I got lucky. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I bought it around at 8.5 cents, and during a lot of centralized exchanges they slept on it. I knew this was a big asset in the real world assets segment of crypto, and when it started trading, it went down by 70%, and it happened that I woke up at that time and decided to look at the price of it. I was expecting upon the listing that it will be worth somewhere 30 or 50 cents, and the public sale price was 5.5 cents. So when I saw it around 8.5, 9 cents, then I decided this is the gift that I was given actually by the fate, and I bought it, and I called all my clients and friends that I have, and recommended them to buy ONDO right away, and most of them bought around 9 plus cents, and they were very grateful to me because it was the best and the fastest 10x in their practice. And as you can see, my initial target was 55-60 cents, and it worked here, but I didn't sell. It was $1, and some of my clients sold, and definitely we went lower here, and we got retested it. As you can see, the 50 moving average got retested, Kijun got retested here, and we went again for $1.05 and got rejected from our trend line. And it is a great trend line. It worked as support before, and you can add it to your charts. It will be very useful because, in my opinion, if this asset doesn't go very strong, push higher, then definitely this line is going to be our resistance and reversal point each time. As you can see, when this whole movement started, we were holding it as support, and each time we lost it, once we reclaim it, we hold it. As you can see, it is a great indicator. Here the last time a few days ago we experienced it and got rejected as resistance from it. So for the future, in my opinion, it is a very strong asset, and all the significant dumps have to be bought by you this year until the next year. It is a great play until the next year. What we can expect here from now. So basically, we have let's take a look at this. Let's switch to the daily time frame, and as you can see, we held. We held as long as we are above 50 moving average, and this Kijun corner, it is going to protect us, in my opinion. So usually it always protects. So basically we are going higher. We will have another leg higher, and I think this line will show you where is going to be our top. This line. So basically, if we go retest it in the coming days, it is going to be 70 cents, somewhere there, maybe 69. As long as we hold it, definitely we are consolidating before the next leg higher, and the top may be around 150, 160, 170, somewhere there. There I'm going to sell. Of course, if we lose this Kijun, then we are going to retest this global trend line, red one, and will come to 49.50 cents at least, and then start recovery. But for now, as long as we hold above this Kijun level and 50 moving average daily, definitely it is a strong support in my opinion, and we will hold it. And as long as we hold it, we are set for consolidation at least, and higher prices above $1, 150, 140, 160, you name it. Definitely this line, this green line, is going to show us where is going to be a reversal and where we need to take profit, so you can use it, and you are welcome. The next one, let's take a look at optimism. I shared this yesterday, and we have a significant a clear situation here. As you can see, each time, let me just change it. Okay, as you can see, each time we have these waves. Each wave is bigger, and we go higher, up, down, consolidation, up, down, consolidation, up, down, and we have this next consolidation. In my opinion, these two trend lines, green and the pink one, we can build it on this extremums here, and we will get back. I always said that we will, on my Twitter account, that we will come to 150, 160, or maybe 140, and then some consolidation, and we will be back to $5-6. Definitely you can draw the same trend lines here on top, and especially below as support. How you can build it, basically use this lows as your indicator how to build these trend lines. We hold it each time, hold it, lost, reclaimed, and this time I think no different. We will retest this at least green line. Not sure whether we will go for the red one, but even if you buy upon the green line and we go for the red one, no worries, we will be back above, and eventually we will take off. This is for those who is interested in optimism. I'm not that interested in it, but maybe I will long it. I'm not interested in this kind of assets with this kind of tokenomics. Okay, alt layer, a few words about it. I think alt layer is a good buy when it reaches this 30 cents, close to 30 cents zone. It is a good project, good supporters and venture capital firms behind it. If we have some retest here, we will eventually cover this one this week and come for the retest of this zone, 29.30 cents is a good deal in my opinion. Maybe it is not going to be the top performer and no profit fast, but definitely 75 cents will be open this cycle for it. I think it is a good buy, and of course this is a long-term investment in my opinion. So basically, of course, if we come for the retest of this zone, the blue one, the first time we touch it, it will bounce immediately, and definitely you can open a long when alt layer touches this blue line. Okay, this is about it. What about Wormhole token? Everybody is speculating what is going to happen with it, because I see no use of the token for the Wormhole, this W token, because it is not even a network. It is an incubation platform that makes partnerships and creates some cooperation, interoperability of the omni-chain crypto infrastructure. Of course, they have a lot of strong partners like Solana and others, and bridges, the main bridges and omni-chain platforms are incubated by it or backed or funded by it, and definitely, but it is not a network. This token doesn't have any utility, and when the token was released, I was expecting the dump, and definitely I put my targets somewhere precisely actually at 45, 50, 40 cents, and as you can see the price came to 45, almost 45 cents, 46 cents, and that makes me feel, and a lot of people are speculating. Some people are flooding this token, and they have a point. Some people have some expectations of the airdrops from the Monad, the highly expected network, Monad network, and there are reasons that maybe those who hold the W Wormhole's token and stake it on their platform or somewhere where they will announce they will be eligible for the Monad airdrop coming in the Q3 of 2024, and nobody knows whether it's true or speculation. But when the V token was listed, the partner companies and Monad included, they were hinting and congratulating their partners Wormhole on this listing and token release. I have the thought that Wormhole has to hold and have the resources to hold their token, but they don't have the driver if they don't have the staking and the potential airdrop reward for it. So basically, a lot of people fought this project because they didn't, they kind of in documents mentioned kind of staking mechanism for their token, but it was not released at the beginning, and I think it was on purpose. They needed the price to go lower, so their generous airdrop was sold by the weak hands, by the some people who are here for the quick return, and they will buy back, in my opinion. And I think the speculative airdrop and staking mechanism will be released soon, in my opinion. If not in the coming month, then in the next 2 months, and I think they will have that staking, and they will announce their partners airdrop for the VW token stakers. Why? Because it is the only way they can pick up their coin and maintain it in a healthy way. because, and I think Wormhole token will be eligible for the Monad airdrop somehow, because I know that there are around 2 billion tokens in circulation for W token, and that is too much in my opinion. And of course they have a strong, a huge unlock by the end of the July, closer to August, and this is going to be a big unlock for W. And definitely they need some driver that will send the price higher until that unlock. And I think the airdrop, Monad airdrop, can be that driver, because this is also the time when the Monad mainnet may be released. So basically a lot of hype can be created by that time. So basically we reached the price, and I'm expecting two scenarios here, and I already drew this, but let's remove it. All I can see here is this: we either retest this first blue line and go above it, then can do something like this, retest it, or maybe even go lower here again, retest this one and cover, and go like this. As long as we hold above 45 cents, it is healthy, it is a good buy in my opinion. Any retest here is a good buy in my opinion, and there is possibility to go about $1, 120, at least 119, 120, maybe even 144. Not sure that we reach 160, but if we have that driver, like I said, about staking the V token and potential huge airdrops, then definitely it will be worth buying it, and we will make up to 3x here. So it is up to you to decide. I guess it is all for today. Good luck to you guys, be careful.